Welcome to KG5 for a little Saturday evening NPL Tasmania action. The third game of the day about to kick off. Devonport handily dealing with Clarence and Olympia and Riverside just underway. But here at KG5 it's the Italian derby. Hobart Zebras up against Launceston City. And the host will enter this one as warm favourites, you'd imagine. But always an entertaining affair, these ones.
Very much so, Andrew Cooling, as I'll just chime in. It's good to be here again after last night's impressive performance from South Hobart, running out 3-1 winners against the Knights. I'll admittedly say I haven't seen a lot of Launceston City this year, other than a few of the highlights. They've been pretty competitive in most games. Going down to Riverside, though, the other week will be a huge blow. It'll be interesting to see how they bounce back from that. And the Zebras, as you mentioned in your Friday article, Cooling was very solid at the back this season. They've really solidified there, especially getting Harutsa back. Riley Dillon always bombing down the wing, and even Yonuzawa, now he's moved to a centre midfield role. Not bad moving into that spot and then getting in team of the week pretty quickly. He's done very well there as the Japanese midfielder for the Zebras, as we're just waiting for the Zebras to come out. A few blows of the whistle there from referee Charlie White. Slight impatience, as we are almost likely to get away on time.
Extraordinary. This may be a first in our league, so we'll have the power of the teams here.
I was enjoying Jesse Dance's comment of also chiming in on the bandwagon on the blog of let's get the games started on time.
Yeah, it's just never going to happen anyway. The Zebras line up, the big centre-half who's been imperious this year, Jan Harutsa, arguably the best centre-half in the league, probably up there with Lascano on performances so far this season. Riley Dillon's been good at left-back. Nicky Edwards will play up in attack on the wing there. Jaden Hay, we'll see where he gets rolled out, has played wide and centrally so far this year. Tommy Little, you'd imagine, will partner Harutsa in defence. Sunday McEwen gets a start today. Can he take advantage of that? The hero against the Warriors, their saviour at the end there. Matthew Pace and Matty Sanders, they'll lead the line in attack. Dwayne Walsh in at right back there with Sammy Watman, the Kiwi, in net. And the impressive Ryu Yonezawa in central midfield, although did come to the club as a centre-back, despite the fact he's now played full-back and central midfield for them. A very versatile player. On the bench, Ackley, Biggin, Jones, Jordan Muller, missing a D there, but they'll be glad to have him back on the bench because he's such an important player for them. And number 21, Nathan Reid, the backup keeper.
Picked up that groin injury in South Hobart, did Geordie Muller a couple of weeks ago, so promising to see him on the bench. Zebras have had a fairly settled lineup so far this season, with Sunday McEwen and Walsh coming in, but they are regulars down the Zebras throughout the years, as we'll have now look to Launceston City's team. We've got Fergus Aitken, Shane Cartwright in central midfield. Former Lions and Olympia Warriors player number 1, Lockie Clark, has got the elected to be in goals here this afternoon. Joe Dorazio, Charlie Dyer, Jared Langer, man of the match last week for him. Noah Mees up top will always be threatening. The centre-back, Lindsay Millington. Greg Roller, the American import, will be in midfield. And then Matty O and everyone's favourite Arctic Monkeys frontman Alex Turner rounding out the starting 11. On the bench, we seem to have cloned Jared Linger, which I'm very impressed with. Aaron Matarozzi, Dan Smith, and we'll just get who it is. Mackenzie Hancox will be the other substitute, as the referees again waiting for everyone to stand in their respective circles and sing Kumbaya here as we await the coin toss.
I think we were getting dangerously close to kicking off on time, and Charlie White's just made sure that the formalities are observed, Bob, but the two skippers striding in there, Matty Sanders, Lindsay Millington, and it should be an interesting battle, this one. The Zebras will obviously be pretty heavily favoured, unbeaten so far on the season. A couple of draws in there, but City still searching for that breakthrough victory. Almost had it against the Knights last week. Couldn't find a way past Hart in net there, unfortunately for them at the end there. Had a few good looks, but couldn't convert. They left the door ajar, but better signs after a fairly slow start to the year. Coach sacked a week out from the start of the season. They've been up against it, have City, and they're just trying to get organised on the fly, I think, which hasn't helped them. And a real tough task here today against a pretty formidable Hobart Zebras lineup. Yeah,
I do think Zebras will go in as warm favourites, probably 2 to 3 goal favourites, but you never know in football, and obviously this being an Italian derby, a bit more of a friendlier rivalry than we've seen in the NPL TAS. Both teams of similar lineage and plenty of history down the years, as Colonel Sanders gets us underway here on what is an ever-cooling Saturday twilight here in Glenorchy. Matty O underneath that one, didn't quite judge it. Edwards back to Yonezawa. Sanders battling down on the wing. He's got Turner for company, who knocks it out for a throw-in.
Riley Dillon, this is the kind of game where we'll see a lot of Riley Dillon charging on, overlapping. I'd have thought loves to push forward, one of the more offensive-minded fullbacks in the competition, and might well find a bit of room today against City, who haven't always had the easiest time coming down to play on the big pitch here at KG5. It's been a happy hunting ground for them. It's Cartwright, they'll be happy to have him in the team and consistently starting games for them this season after he missed so much last year. There's Joe Dorazio just trying to make something happen here, but Dwayne Walsh picked it back up, ran straight into Charlie Dyer. Throw in will be taken. Looks like Turner partnering Millington in the middle of the defence today, with O and Dorazio the fullbacks for City. Bit of a wild swing at that one. Naomi soldiering on. Strong foot in from Walsh. Harutza back to Sammy Watman. Going to be a fascinating battle between the centre halves and Naomi's this afternoon. I think Harutza certainly got the physical tools to stick with him. Watman just smashes this one in the middle, just holds up on the breeze a little. First to the pounce on it was Jaden Hay, who tears off into some space and sets that well out in advance of Nicky Edwards. Didn't give him a play on that ball.
Didn't give him a whole lot of chance there, did Jaden Hay. I'm sure he'll get a few more chances as the game ticks on, as Aitken knocks that one out for a throw-in. And go towards Zebras. I do think, in terms of matchups, Harutza v Mees will be a key one, as Turner brings that one into the night sky. Also looking forward to Linger on Yonezawa, which appears to have... That's a foul, surely, there from Cartwright on Sunday McEwen. Had a fair bit of shirt of the Zebras winger. It'll be Riley Dillon, who does like to take pretty much every set piece for the Zebras. Tommy Little strides forward as well. Although Dillon not quite directing traffic as he wants, but he puts the ball into the mix-up. Cleared by Cartwright. The two number 10s going at it. Now Dillon again. Leaves it for Sunday. Oh, he's put it through to Colonel Sanders, who scores, but he's offside. Flag raised very early there from the AR.
Jeez, he finished it nicely, didn't he, the Colonel? As we see here, he's just hanging off, and geez, we don't really have the camera angle for it. That one looked like he'd timed it pretty well, but it's obviously not an ideal angle to see down the line, but looked like he did just have a look and check to see where he was, so maybe a little bit stiff there, the Colonel.
Charlie White's clearly brought it back for no advantage, though, so Zebras do have another chance to attack. Dillon over the set piece. Edwards also looking promising as Dillon goes towards the near post, nearly towards Little. Might fall for Sunday. Calls for handball, not given. Back to Dillon. He's trying to keep it under. Plays a through ball. It's done well to fake out Edwards. Edwards into the box. Eventually cleared Turner. Will be out for a goal kick. Zebras looking to turn the screw from the first minute here.
Yeah, well done by Turner. Good awareness at the back there. And Sanders saying post-game last week, that goal he had in the 93rd minute was the first shot he's got off in open play in about 3 weeks, he reckons. He's just been rather stifled. And you have noticed watching the Zebras, he's been dropping very deep to try and get involved. But starting his season with a flurry of goals has clamped down upon a little bit in recent weeks, has the Colonel. But showed there why you can't afford to give him too many chances. He's absolutely lethal. Tommy Little has impressed since arriving at the Zebras, and he punches this one over the top. Riley Dillon is offside as the keeper comes out and steers that one away anyway. Lockie Clark. Walsh just waited on a little as he's pressured here. In the end, it's out for a throw-in.
At the pellet end of KG5.
Yes, for those who were tuning in yesterday wondering why there's about a third of the pitch that appears black. The council rocking up yesterday morning and just dumping a bunch of pellets on the pitch, and they're not having enough time to do the entire pitch. So we've got 1/3 of the pitch done apparently. They've won the ball back in here through Yonezawa. Sanders pass intercepted by Matty O. Launches it long. Walsh safely back to Watman.
Watman, who's looked pretty good throughout the season, coming across from Northern Rangers. Has plenty of experience playing against City in a derby type situation. Does the Kiwi goalkeeper. It's now Dylan. Exchanging passes with Tommy Little. Harutsa with time to stride forward. And that must have taken the deflection off Mees. Sunday looking it back to Edwards. Zebra is happy to keep possession here early on. Dylan manages to find Jaden Hay in a good pocket of space. He's got him behind Charlie Dyer. Goes towards the near post. Colonel Sanders has put it wide. Well, he's hasn't had a lot of chances from open play the last 3 weeks. He's had 2 in the first 6 minutes here.
This time he was onside, and slightly easier chance perhaps. Not it was a simple matter, but couldn't quite direct it on target there, the Colonel. Side netting only.
Millington did well to close down the angle there. Just put enough of his body between the Colonel and that back corner, so it didn't really give him too many more options other than to blast it near. As we'll see Sanders dropping back to get it. He may have left Walsh a little short there. Good in there from Aitken. Through ball which Harutsa should deal with. Oh, Linger chasing down, but Watman on his non-preferred. Doesn't get a lot of purchase on that one. Options here for Roller. Now Linger calls for a penalty, not given. Much to the chagrin of the Launceston City players, and Jan Harutsa has run away from the situation as quickly as possible, straight to right back.
Yeah, that's normally a dead set giveaway, and he might be a little unlucky there. Jared Linger scored a brace last week. He's been dynamic in attack for this City side. We'll have a look at the replay. Was there some ball in this challenge? He certainly collected plenty of Linger, and that for me is just straight through the back of him, and as clear a penalty as you get, Paul.
I think that's in that category. If that foul happened at halfway, you'd probably give it, so you got to give it when it's in the 18-yard box. And as Sanders back to Dylan, fires it into Turner for the second corner of the match. Yeah, we do have the benefit of replay up here, but that did look like a foul committed from Harutsa on Linger. So we'll have another look. I think he's clearly got the first touch there.
Yeah, I think he's been stiff there, the young man. Now, a colleague at the Mercury doesn't agree, just says it's a good challenge as this one swung in. Harutsa, and then steered over the top by Sanders. He's volleyed it over the top from 3 yards out somehow.
I don't know how he's done that, especially for someone as lethal as Sanders is. And it's not the trickiest angle, but he's got plenty of goal to aim for there and just puts a bit too much air underneath it. Sanders really looking to stamp his mark on this game in the first 8 minutes. He has been all amongst it and probably should have at least one goal to show for it. He might get another chance here, Sanders, against Millington. Just gets a toe in. He'll retreat and look at options. He's got Edwards at the far post. Confusion in the box. Headed safely claimed by the keeper, Lockie Clark. Elects to throw it this time, but Yonizawa gets to that one. City, accidental elbow there from Edwards. Don't think there was any malice in that, but a talking to is still required. As we have another look. And that chance to Sanders. It's a well-designed move from the corner from the Zebras with the near post flick. And yeah, I think Sanders has to do a little better there from his high standards he sets.
This one's chipped forward by the Arctic Monkeys front man off the back of Mees, acrobatically away by the big checking machine. And now Fergus Aitken trying to get the better of Dwayne Walsh here. Strings on the ball and rolled his foot over it. Walsh sweeping it out of play.
I don't think he wants any of his subs to come on with that clearance. That's fired that right into his bench.
Yeah, I think that's the rifle bench, so that might be all right.
No, yeah, that's fine then.
Oh, no, that's a great ball in. Linger parried away. Well done, Watman. As City, well, had a couple of moments in attack and both have been incredibly threatening. Jared Linger not far away there from opening the scoring in a pretty open affair so far. 10 minutes in, both teams could and probably should be on the score sheet. City attacking here. Good defensive pressure from Yonizawa, just forcing the retreat from Charlie Dye. He'll get the ball back here though, the City youngster. Pull pass straight to Walsh. Harutsa. Now Watman. Check centre half with plenty of time, and just opted to roll it out there. Played out by a little. The Silver Fox, Ken Morton, just over on that far side of the ground there, just casting his eye over rival sides here. Good win for his side, 3-0 last night over Glenorchy Knights.
Very much the preferred scouting corner area of KG5, just where you get a bit more peace and quiet, but still some slight elevation. He hasn't quite managed to park the car in the corner so he can sit inside today, Ken.
Yeah, usually pretty sharp with that one, as this one's worked forward for Nicky Edwards. Just tried to loft it over the top of Dorazio, read it well, turns back to Cartwright. Sets Mees quite the task. Carrozza leads him to the ball. 2-0 the score over at Warrior Park. Olympia with 2 quick strikes there, and Koso and Ryan. And the other North v South matchup taking place down here this evening. Devonport 9-0 winners over Clarence in the earlier game. Super League, pretty comprehensive win for Olympia over South Hobart 7-0, and Ulverston 2-1 over Kingborough. As we go around the grounds. Shocker Saturday of action as that pass nearly played in Mees. That was very dicey.
Especially with someone as long a legs as Mees. It's probably want to work a little more crisp passing, which we're seeing now from the Zebras, and nice bit of commentator's curse there as that one's hit aimlessly down the line. Edwards directing traffic. Lockie Clark electing to take a touch there, which was a bit risky. Manages to only concede the throw-in. Would have liked a bit more distance there as we have another look at Launceston City's last half chance, and geez, he's not far away. That all is Jared Linger. That was Mees. I reckon it'd be very close to getting that one on target.
What a perfect ball, just bent over the top of the defender, took him completely out of the picture. Super stuff, throw in to the chest of Sanders. Heavy touch, Edwards now comes in to support. Back to Jaden Hay. Dwayne Walsh. Walsh drives one, Jared Linger tracking back in defence. But his ball went straight to Hay. Yonazawa rolls it through. McEwen's turned into an acre of space in the box here. He checks back inside cleverly. Cross finds Millington. Steers it away. Jared Linger buffeted it off it and then falls back to Edwards. Gonzawa. Heavy touch from Little. Brings it under his control and then coughs it up to Matty O. O looks up and will just chip it there for Millington. A foot race with Little here is Mees, sorry, not Millington. As apparently the Olympia Warriors goalkeeper has just been sent off, so things might be about to get interesting over at Warrior Park.
Very interesting. Is that the return of Randy coming on over that side?
Only if you can't read the team sheet, I suspect. Yeah, I'd imagine Darby Randall would be coming in there.
It's Launceston City have their first corner of the match. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 up in the box. Really looking to crowd around the keeper Watman here. This might be a direct delivery, and it is. Looping, but Sammy Watman claimed that one. Managed to relieve himself of the pressure, and he'll launch that one towards halfway. Edwards just using his body a little more. I'm going to say that's been adjudged offside. And indeed, that's the call. It'll be Millington to take the free kick. Looking Cartwright, who's found himself in a good pocket of space, chests it down, knocks it back. Linger gets it on the volley, but right at Sammy Watman. Shane Cartwright just ghosted behind the Zebras' defence there, and probably another clear-cut chance for City.
Yeah, well, we've seen he's more than capable of goals, Shane Cartwright, in his time down in Tasmanian football. A powerful player and combined nicely with Linger there, just teed up the chance, and he's starting to grow into the game. And City, after a slightly slow start out of the box in the first few minutes, are coming to life and giving the Zebras defence just a few troubles. Zebras on the attack again here, though. Pretty end-to-end type start to this one. Linger playing that more advanced role and shoot.
Well, Mees was offside. It just depends if Linger passed it to him or it was a Zebra's pass.
Yeah, I was waiting to see what the rub was here. There's a fair shout that that's come straight off the tackler. So, again, a little bit unlucky with the officiating here so far on Launceston City. This is some tidy work from Nicky Edwards. Driving to the boxes, Edwards still going. His cross shut down. Behind it goes for a corner.
Surging run there from Edwards. Just not sure if he couldn't have had a hit there on the left foot. And it opened up to himself. Was determined to get to the byline. Well, there's a little bit of a window opening towards that far corner. He wanted to wrap his boot around it. We'll see Riley Dillon making another set piece. This time Harutsa's gone up rather than Little. It'll be Dillon to take in, swinging corner towards the back post. Cleared. And then cleared again in the Linger direction. Yonizawa picks that one out of the sky. Back to Little. I think that ball was meant to go towards Riley Dillon, but under hit from the Zebras centre back. And now it's Aitken. Down on the left wing, Walsh manages to intercept. Sammy Watman imploring his team to get wider. He certainly can't be accused of that, Riley Dillon. He wasn't even on that side of the pitch, so it's a bit hard for him to get further left. And here's stone cold Riley Dillon on the ball, being pegged in to this corner by Dyer. Well, it's Roller actually on the far side, and he's done good work, the American. Little tries to clear it, but only as far as O. It's now Lingo, who's been threatening in the box, whacks it into Harutsa. Harutsa now really wants to clear it on the right and then just knocks it out for a corner kick. And sloppy there from the Zebras. Wouldn't surprise me if their bench starts to get a little more animated. So we have a look at one of the more unnecessary conceded corners we'll see this season. Just knocks that one directly out. It'll be Medio over the corner. Wouldn't surprise me if it's another direct delivery like what we saw before. It's actually a corner that's about as good as that clearance from Harutsa. So Lonnie City just delivering it right back to the Zebras. Not taking advantage of that free pass. Cartwright. Yonizawa. Eventually City will win the throw. Strong breeze blowing on that far side. Certainly a lot sunnier than it was here last night as O gets into a pocket of space and then whips it into the car park. So a little bit sloppy here in the last couple of minutes. Both sides not taking advantage of their early opportunities and just petering out into not a lot at the moment. Sammy Waltman struggling to get the ball back. Charlie White, not sure if there's any at halfway. There's a terrible, terrible kick out from the match manager. It was going nowhere near the intended target. As well, we have a look around the grounds while we wait for just about the longest stretch of nothing we've had in NPL TAS this season so far.
Launched long by Tommy Little. Sanders the target, but Turner had his name all over that one. Greg Roller looking to just impose himself on the contest for the first time. Very adept dribbler through in the midfield is Roller. McEwen looks up and just lofts it over the top into the path of Nicky Edwards. Dorazio comes across to pressure him. Edwards going to shrug off the attentions of the young defender. He skips into space now, puts in a good-looking cross. Millington, again, had his positioning spot on. The ever reliable Millington sees it behind for the corner.
Edwards has always looked to get in behind so far in this game, really attacking the byline. It's his number one move. As this time we'll see Riley Dillon take this one with the right foot. Dave Smith imploring Tommy Little to get up there in the box. He has a bit of pace here, so if he can get near him, lob me over his Clark, reach over the top, nearly falls to Little. Sanders ended up with the last touch again. Just can't keep it down or get it in the back of the neck in the Colonel.
Oh, stretching. That was a tough one. His height was against him there, to be fair. He tried to make himself as tall as possible to reach it. Just couldn't quite get the direction. Very difficult to get the direction on that one. Meanwhile, Greg Roller's in behind at the other end. It's Roller! How about that for the opening goal? catches Watman off his line, chips him superbly, and that's a wonderful goal from the American. Launceston City take the lead. Well, you miss one chance up the other end. City go up the other end and take theirs. Great flick on from Mees, just out the back. This is just great instincts to just spy the keeper off his line and lob it over the top.
Not a lot of jogger bonito about the long ball there from Clark to Mees, but geez, it's effective. And Roller ghosting in behind. We've seen that happen a couple of times. Cartwright and Linger have got into similar positions, but this time the American with just that little touch of class to lob Watman. And Zebras now with it all to do. And he concedes the corner. Cool finish, spotting the keeper off his line and just doing enough. We've seen that attempted a few times this season so far, but I haven't seen too many of the chips come off so far.
Yeah, that was an absolutely cracking finish from a roller. This one's worked in near post over the head of Harutza. Jaden Hay wants to turn onto the right, well aware if that was Aitken. Nicky Edwards now to Dillon. Across, charged down by Turner. Yeah, you're right, there's been plenty to attempt it, but certainly the best execution we've seen, and the goal of the month after this weekend. The first edition will be coming up, and I dare say that one's going to feature.
I reckon so. Not sure if it's a winner yet, and it's got a fair bit of competition. We've had some wonderful goals so early in the season as the offside flag has been raised. Charlie White will eventually see it.
Still not sure I've seen one better than the first one, to be honest.
Yeah, no, that's what I was alluding to.
John Ladich starting the season in style. 10-man Warriors still holding sway 2-0 over Riverside after about 30 minutes over there at Warrior Park as Lockie Clark knocks it long to Mees. Well, it worked before, why not? Great purchase on his flick on and roller. He knew the set play, continued his run, and did the business. Walsh just allowed to get in there by Aiken, just backed off a little. Edwards shifts it into the bullseye, makes pace come back. He punches it forward straight to Turner. Little will let it roll through to Sammy Altman, but had a few nice moments in attack in the final third of the Zebras, but hasn't been the most fluid stuff getting it up there at times.
They seem to be relying on set pieces a fair bit here today, with Riley Dillon delivering some of the goods, but just not being able to convert here so far. Hey, and there's pretty much been Sanders the number one outlet. Edwards has made a few good runs, but Sunday McEwen's been stuck in too many positions like we just saw him there in his own defensive half. Harutza not happy with the run made by his fullback. There's just a little bit of frustration growing. As O jinks around the Zebras player, who eventually comes back and wins the throw-in. It just hasn't been as crisp as you'd like it, the passing from the Zebras here this afternoon. There's another example with Jaden Hay turning it over, played to the feet of Mees, gets it on that left peg. Mees, good save, Watman. Outstretched left palm. First real shot on goal there for the former Young Player of the Year, Noah Mees. Good purchase on it, and then a good save from Watman. The corner taken from the grandstand side. That looked to have come off the Zebras last. They're going to let it run out. And no, it's definitely a corner. I'm with Charlie White there. The Zebras aren't terribly happy with that, but I had the same view as the referee there.
Yeah, I think he's got that one spot on. It was a good attack by Noah Mees, who he's the ever-present threat, isn't he? They look to him at every opportunity. We saw that against Riverside. They had an absolute glut of corners and just kept trying to stick it on Mees' head. Eventually, it paid off, but he is so dominant in the air, and Harutza just giving him a bit of a cuddle there at the moment. Needs to watch out with those arms, as he can't really do much with delivery like that, unfortunately. Cartwright doesn't give him a chance. But, look, we've seen defenders getting a little bit of trouble already this season with the wraparound. The Zebras were the beneficiaries against Olympia from a similar one, but players have been warned to watch it with the grappling, and just putting both arms around like that is asking for trouble, I reckon.
Even if whoever's taking the corner just plonks it in the 6-yard box, at least if there's a genuine attempt they can make at the ball, the referee's more likely to give the pen. As Sunday knocks it to Hay. Dillon. I think him and Sanders were on the same wavelength, just under hit the pass. Now Dyer to the Arctic Monkeys front man. Looping ball which Walsh will claim. It's now Matty Pace, who's moved out to the wing. What can he do? Jinking, trying to get on his right peg. Crosses that one in towards the back post, and Sanders again unmarked in the 6-yard box. Well, he set some high standards for the Colonel Sanders, and again, he probably should put that on target.
Unopposed, and yeah, just can't quite direct it. Well, he's used up his best finish on the one where the offside flag was raised to him, unfortunately. Since then, he's just been well off with his radar, but that first shot was an absolute cannon. And since then, he's got the yips at the moment as Walsh works that one forward. Sanders back to Hay. Hay to Dillon. Riley Dillon has plenty to pick out. One of them's McEwen, who somehow heads it backwards. I'm not sure that was his intent. Not got quite as crisp as the volley he scored against Olympia, fair to say.
I don't even know how he's done that. It takes some body contortion to put the ball in that particular direction.
That's what happens when the ball hits you rather than you kind of meeting ball, as they teach. It's a corner opportunity for Riley Dillon here. The Zebras looking to work their way back on terms, away by Turner. This might sit up beautifully. It's belted by Edwards into a sea of bodies and blocked nicely. Zawa and Walsh both want it. Walsh opted to take and swings it out to Riley Dillon. Stone cold on the right, bends in, a dangerous looking ball, but well gathered there by Lockie Clark under a bit of duress from Colonel Sanders, and releases with the quick throw.
Out to Dillon, not the intended target, getting in front of his opposing player. Dillon looking to go near post, Turner with the clearance. It's now O, given away to Sunday, who wants to play in Sanders again. Offside, his flag has finally been raised. Good save by Clark in the end. Sanders really looking to play off the shoulder as we have a look at this strike. Hit that with some power. It's just the big long levers of the City defenders getting in the way.
That might have been Mees getting back in defence, in fact.
I did think it was Mees. I just wasn't entirely sure whether they'd keep him back for the corner. As Harutsa leaves that one for Watman. Under pressure from the aforementioned Noah Mees.
Gets taller every time I watch this kid. He's a big unit these days, isn't he?
I thought his growth spurt would have stopped about 2 years ago, but it actually just hasn't. He keeps going. Now Lonnie City will look to keep going. That one's cleared by Tommy Little. Now to Sanders. Everyone's going to run inside, and he wanted someone out in the wing, so he does well to win a throw-in, does the Colonel.
Frustrating first 30 for Matty Sanders, but he's been involved in plenty, and the way it's going, you'd be surprised if he went through the 90 without scoring. He just seems to be making things happen. So this one swung away and dotted back by Walsh. Comfortably gathered by Sammy Watman. Yeah, throw was not a good one though. Straight to Charlie Dyer. Makes Lingham work for this. Just allowed Jaden Hay to track in and win it back. Yonazawa. Adam McEwen. Rolled it sideways to Edwards. Now Walsh. And Durazio steps in.
I'm not privy to what Coach Dave Smith's game plan was previously, but I'd be trying to get a bit more width into this Zebras team, or at least get it out there quicker. And that's surely a foul by Pace on Cartwright. Just the centre midfielders for the Zebras are getting their heads up, wanting an option who's hugging the touchline and then come inside, but the player's already inside, so I'd be curious to see if they try and change that afterwards. And we'll see another delivery here from Durazio. Low ball in towards Linger. Linger back in the Cartwright direction again. Hit over Cleoted's chance, but unfortunately it's fallen to the centre-back, Alex Turner.
He can hit them, Alex Turner. He's got one of the biggest cannons in the league, the centre half, and this one, again, staying hit, just leaning back on the left, and smashed it over the top, but not quite the direction. But he's certainly not averse to having a pop from range. Turner does it more frequently than most. Greg Roller, the goal scorer, can't make anything happen this time. Was robbed of that one. Turner too heavy with his pass over the top and go out for a Watman goal kick, but City 1-0 ahead here thanks to Roller's chip, and in search of their first victory of the season. We're delighted with it. There's another look at it. Beautiful flick on from Mees, and just sensed that he wasn't going to be able to hold off the attentions of Harutsu, and I've got to get rid of this, and just lofted it to perfection.
Most sensible option in that situation as well from Roller. Would have allowed the Zebras' defence to get back if he took a touch, as Sanders gets in front of Cartwright. Hay looking for Sunday. He's whacked it into him. Fortunately, well, Sunday was trying to get out of the way, and he did hit into his thigh, so it will be given as offside. And the Zebras, after the half-hour mark, after that goal, they've had one or two chances, but their better chances came prior to it, as Little beats out Mees and hooves it clear. Pace trying to get around Orazio, and just to win the throw. Taken towards the Dwayne pipe. Now Edwards, surrounded by three Lonnie City players, and eventually Dyer wins it. Plays it to Linger. He's got Roller on the far side if he wants him. He elects to go there, continuing his run is Linger. Roller fouled, surely there, from Stone Cold Riley Dillon. And another opportunity here for Lonnie City. Just have a look at that foul. It was just coming across there. Might have even been Yonezawa that committed it in the end. Well, who do you reckon's going to take this one, Curling?
Well, Cartwright looks the most interested. I'd have thought maybe Mees would be the one favoured. Cartwright certainly has his claim on it. I mean, it's got a dead centre, so it doesn't really favour a right or a lefty. You just go for your best option. It's a tough one. He's going to set up his wall on the left-hand side of his goal. Looks like Cartwright is going to be the one to bend it, but Mees looming large over this one as well. But Shane Cartwright does defer. Mees drives it low. Blocked, I think, by his own man in the end. Now Millington deflected away and out of there. But, he just, in winning that free kick there, Roller, his shifty movement, just his ability to snap quickly from side to side. So tough for defenders to track him. Said, the game against Riverside you'd probably rather forget in terms of just couldn't get a shot on target, but he started this one very brightly indeed. He's got the goal and is making things happen.
He just sort of lowers his centre of gravity and seems to weave quite well as the corner is swung in. Header in the end from Lindsay Millington, going backwards against the breeze. It was a difficult one. He did well to get it towards goal. But yeah, he just seems to almost be like an NFL running back, just lowers his body and just weaves through. Does Roller.
Yeah, a little Darren Sproles type. Pocket rocket.
Pocket rocket.
As Jaron Linger for a moment thought he was going to be able to get on the scraps there. Fell for the Zebras. Tommy Little cross to Harutsa. The Czech centre half rolls it to the Dwayne pipe. Now working hard for him is Sanders. Turning onto that left. His customary style across Yonezawa. Just showed too much of it to Roller though. He checks back inside and then lifts it over the top for Mees to run onto. Watman has the situation well under control though. Rolls it out to Tommy Little. Zebras need to find a new sense of urgency here if they're going to get back on terms. City having a good spell here at the moment.
I think they need a Matthew Nowicki type foul here, the Zebras, as Tommy Little manages to have a cleaner challenge than the one I'm talking about, but then not as clean a pass, which Lockie Clark will pick up with ease.
There's some form of fire starter here. Just looking at a little flat at the moment, although he did create a few chances early on and should have probably found the back of the net through one of them, as Jared Linger's got some room to roll it into. Roller. Couldn't quite play him in though. It just allowed enough time for Dillon to slide back in and make the crucial intervention. Linger and Roller combining with Mees very nicely here at the moment. Away goes Tommy Little and up and under. Sanders just pushed under it, I feel, and the foul blown against Turner.
Dave Smith not terribly happy with how his team's playing at the moment. There's a clear foul on the Arctic Monkeys front man. Watman just standing with the ball in the D saying, do I have an option other than my centre back? To which the answer is no. And so he goes to Little, who then goes to Harutza. It's under hit, back to Watman. And you won't score goals like that if you're the Zebras. Nice touch there from Roller, gets him out of jail.
One of the half has worn on. The more comfortable City are looking in this game, and they've got a goal to show for it too. Zebras looking to kick into gear here. Edwards with a nice little turn, then flicks it through for Riley Dillon. Charging forwards. There are bodies everywhere in the box here for Dillon. He picks out the header. Pace! Off the bar! And it's been flagged. And flagged as a goal. So the Zebras are back on terms. The linesman, Monty Peace, saying that one has crossed the line. And for the second time in 24 hours, a bit of a crossbar down controversy here. But I think on both occasions we've ended with the right call. And Pace has knotted this one up.
2 in 24 hours. We'll have to get goal line technology at NPL TAS immediately. And the positioning of Colonel Sanders means we can't really have an opinion on that one. So we'll take the word of the assistant referee.
Did look like it was spinning backwards to me, so I'd be fairly comfortable with that. Sanders' reaction was one that was saying, although did the right thing and tried to put it in first, but no, I'm comfortable with that one. I think that's the right call. And really, they get their goal back through Pace. Good little header. Just as City was starting to work their way on top. Mees, can they respond in kind? Noah Mees with the cross parried away by Watman. Jaden Hay steers it in the direction of the goal scorer Pace. He's 6th of the season for Matthew Pace. Sanders one ahead of him on 7. And this one dropped off by Cartwright to Jared Lenger. Turns back, rolls it for Roller. And here's the Roller derby sprinting into the box. It's Greg Roller from the angle. And it's a good save from Watman. Shutting down the shot at the near post. But the American exerting his influence over this contest.
It's Roller. Another good run into the 18-yard box, getting a smart save out of Sammy Watman. Taking this corner with a little more urgency, but unfortunately a bit too much, and it's gone straight out of play. Be curious. It seems like they're happening, trying to get the corners really centrally and right under the keeper's nose, which I think the wind isn't too bad an option, as that one's nearly given away by Little. Good pressure from Linger. Slide challenge to no avail. Back to Yonezawa. Now Jaden Hayes turn and looks up. And just sees a wall of red at the moment. Mees tracking back. Eventually goes back to the centre half. Harutza. He's got a few people wanting it. Sunday McEwen was the first one to really point in anger, and that's the direction he goes. Controls it well. Sunday puts it on the right peg, and he's just put it over the top. Well, he made a really good run there, did McEwen, and good control to pluck it out of the sky, particularly with the sun. He just could not keep it down.
It's a gorgeous first touch. Just brings it down. Second one, shapes to shoot. Did everything right up until the point of the shot. But lovely first touch from McEwen, showing his quality there. We saw that goal against Olympia, the clever little flick over the top. Very good at setting the chance for himself this Sunday. So 6.5 to play in the first half. 1-1 the score. Both teams look more than capable of adding to that before the break. It's a pretty open contest. Both teams feeling they can get something out of it. Here's Roller. Slightly heavy touch on that occasion, but Dillon comes in for the Zebras and blasts it into Dyer. We have another look here at the goal. Pace's clever little flick on. Yeah, Sanders just completely blocking our view, but live, my first look at it, the instinct was, I think it crossed, and as I said, the assistant, Monty Pace, was in the perfect position and flagged immediately.
Yeah, it did it very quickly. Did the AR, so we'll certainly trust his decision on that one. And as Launceston City have another corner, I feel like they've had quite a lot of corners in this first half. They've had 6 already, as that one's gone in a different direction to the rest of them, but still not quite as effective. We'll get another chance on the far side. Deflected into the feet of Mees. Mees turning left foot strike. Good pressure applied from the Zebras' defence. Now trying to get down on the far side. No foul given for that one, as Stone Cold stands his ground quite well and Little manages to clear, but Launceston City trying to turn the screw here. There's Little getting the shout that Linger's coming behind. Linger's kept it in. Little cleared as far as Cartwright. He's got Dyer in a good pocket of space if he wants to switch it. Goes to Mees, who now plays it to Charlie Dyer. Gets it eventually. No advantage paid on the foul there by the Dwayne pipe. Greg Roller just moved over to the left-hand side temporarily.
Just wanted that ball more, I think there. The American just charged after it.
Charlie White clearly enjoying the use of the magic spray. Not wanting Cartwright to get the option to take it quickly.
Get behind that, he tells Nicky Edwards, the one-man wall. Most imposing figure in there as Cartwright just bends this one to the back post, headed down by Turner, but straight into the waiting arms of Sammy Watman. Inside the final 5 here in the first half. Round 7 action in the NPL Tasmania. And 1-1, a very delicately poised game this one, and a big 3 points up for grabs. Both teams after it for different reasons. City searching for their first win of the year. Zebras looking to just elevate themselves up into the thick of the title race. 3-0 the score over at Warrior Park, so despite going down to 10, Olympia adding to their lead against Riverside.
Maybe just not quite used to the smaller confines of Warrior Park. Riverside as Mees robs the defender of that one. He's got Roller steaming forward on the far side if he can get it there. And he just can't quite keep it in. Does manage to win a corner for his team.
Well done, Yonezawa, although he feels he should have got a goal kick here. Mees just storming, as you say, Greg Roller completely unmarked. Look at the pace as he tears in there. But the Japanese midfielder just would not let him get a cross in.
Getting strong Timmy Baker vibes from Greg Roller here, Kingborough's import from last year.
As a slice of cheese goes to Yonezawa, who was so displeased at the corner decision. He has clearly just kept on going and arguing the point, and Charlie White, not a man to do that to, says have a dose of dairy. So into the book goes Yonezawa as Cartwright prepares to take. Again, it's a central ball. Again, Turner is there, nods it in. Coming through was Millington. Goal kick on this occasion, you're right. It's a real tactic to surround Watman with the biggest bodies and just work the corner into the 6-yard box. Maybe something they've picked up in the pre-game scout, I suspect.
I'd say so. Lino Scully usually does a pretty good job in that department as Sanders gets goal side of Millington. Has to turn back, but it's a delicious ball out to Stone Cold Riley Dillon. Not the most greatest of first touches, but he's still got time to whip it in, deflected, and Turner. It's time to control it. Pass it towards Linger. Linger v Yonezawa has been a real battle in the centre of the park so far. As Little plays it back to Watman, which is probably the most played pass of this first half. Arutza in plenty of space. Wayne Walsh is split out wide. But Zebras, when they're in that situation, they just seem a bit devoid of options, really.
Yeah, it's just a little bit slow building from the back. I mean, when they're getting the ball in the final third and pegging back City deep, they've looked really threatening, created some good looks, but it's been a bit laborious trying to get it up there, whereas City are having no such troubles. The likes of Linger and Roll are doing a really good driving the play for them. Mees getting heavily involved and just seem to be able to shift the ball forward a lot quicker than the Zebras have been.
It's fine to, play it in between three of you, but just not when it's in your own 18-yard box. You've got to be doing that towards the centre circle and just push the game up towards your attacking half, particularly when you're the home side. And Zebras are looking to stay within touching distance of South Hobart and Devonport, who already appear to be pulling away at the moment. There's Watman. Launches that one in the Cartwright direction. Eventually won by Sunday. Accidental foul afterwards. Dyer clipping at the heels of Edwards. Edwards had pace in space, and to be fair, that's probably a smart foul there from the Arctic Monkeys front man. It might earn him a dose of dairy, though.
Looks like it will.
Pace was in all sorts of space on the far side, and just a little clip at the heels, and that will earn Turner a slice of cheese. And again, another free kick in a central position. It won't be as much guessing who takes this, as I think Riley Dillon has a monopoly on all set pieces.
Yeah, Nicky Edwards is doing his best to try and claim it, but you would fancy Dillon as favoured. Let's take the majority of them. Edwards looking interested. It'll be either Edwards or Stone Cold. Plenty of bodies back here, and it is Dillon. It deflects awkwardly, and it's well saved in the end. As that one deviated, and he had to shift his weight back the other way. Well done, Lockie Clark. That wouldn't have been easy for the keeper, reacting with the change of direction. He's taken one step one way and has to spring back the other way. This is the toughest thing to do when you're keeping.
No, that's an impressive save there from Clark as Dillon goes the first time and nearly puts it in the back and then ended again. Lockie Clark reaching to tip that one over for a corner. We'll have another look at the corner save. Just the way the wind's going, it's tempted to hold up there, so he has to judge it pretty quickly, and that's a pretty impressive pass there from Nicky Edwards to just about knock the match manager's head off. Dillon now again tries to go underneath, but Lockie Clark stands tall. He's only got Jared Linger to aim for as we head into stoppage time. Linger does very well to win his side a free kick and just relieve the pressure, and this will probably be the last chance of the half, you would have to say.
Yeah, just good use of the body there from Jared Langer, and yeah, it's flown through this first 45, and it's been pretty frenetic stuff, end-to-end action, chances flowing for both teams. Really enjoyable first half of football here between the two sides. No cagey affair this one, as Turner chips it in there. Should be easy pickings for Sammy Watman, and it is for the big Kiwi. Again, not happy with the speed that he decided breaking out to give him an option. He hasn't really got one, so he just puts it on the deck and blasts it long. Puts it out in front of McEwen, and a good ball that from Watman. McEwen now can have a little run at Matty O. Holds up, waits for the support that comes in the form of Riley Dillon, whose cross picks out Sanders. Oh, well done, Lockie Clark. Just got to it. And that might be that for the first half here at KG5. Cracking football here. Both teams are up to this one, up to their eyeballs in this one, really. Both teams look more than capable of scoring and more than capable of winning, which lays a pretty nice foundation for what should be a pretty intriguing second half ball.
Yeah, the pace of the game has really flown along here in this first half. Lonnie City, whilst being the away team, have taken it to the Zebras, who, as we were talking before, when they're in the attacking half, they've looked a threat, but just a little bit slow to get it out of the back here, and it's allowed Lonnie City into this game. 7 corners for City. Set pieces have been their main outlet, but as we have a look at their first goal, it was a delicious finish from Greg Roller, just dinking that one over Watman. That's one we'll be seeing plenty of in the Goal of the Month competition. And then Matty Pace with the header, and we will certainly agree with the AR that has crossed the line. But just an enthralling first half, and probably more to come in the second.
I certainly hope so. Do stay with us. We'll be back in around about 10 minutes' time for a game very much on the knife edge. 1-1 at half-time.
Going at it, now Dillon again. Leaves it for Sunday. Oh, he's put it through to Colonel Sanders, who scores, but he's offside. He's trying to keep it under. Oh, here's a through ball. It's done well to flick out Edwards. Edwards into the box, eventually cleared Turner. He'll be out for a goal kick. Find Jaden Hay in a good pocket of space. He's got him behind Charlie Dyer. Goes towards the near post. Colonel Sanders has put it wide. Well, he doesn't get a lot of purchase on that one. Options here for Roller. Now Linger calls for a penalty, not given. Much to the
Now, our colleague at the Mercury doesn't agree, just says it's a good challenge as this one swung in. Harutza, and then steered over the top by Standers. He volleyed it over the top. I think that's a rifle bench, so that might be all right.
No, yeah, that's fine then.
Oh, no, that's a great ball. Linger parried away. Well done, Watman. As City
to take the free kick. Looking Cartwright, who's found himself in a good pocket of space, chests it down, knocks it back. Linger gets it on the volley, but right at Sammy Watman. Shane Cartwright just...
Weird type start to this one. Linger playing that more advanced role and shoot.
Well, Mees was offside. Rutzer now really wants to clear it on the right and then just knocks it out for a corner kick. And sloppy there.
The pressure him, Edwards. Shrug off the attentions of the young defender. He skips into space now, puts in a good-looking cross. Millington, again, had his positioning spot.
To get up there in the box. He has a bit of pace here, so if he can get near him, lob me over his Clark. Reach over the top, nearly falls to Little. Sanders headed.
Just couldn't quite get the direction. Very difficult to get the direction on that one. Meanwhile, Greg Roller's in behind at the other end. It's Roller! How about that for the opening?
There's another example with Jaden Hay turning it over. Played to the feet of Mees. Gets it on that left peg. Mees, good save, Watman. Outstretched left. What can he do? Jinking. Trying to get on his right peg. Crosses that one in towards the back post, and Sanders again. Unmarked in the 6 yard.
Back on terms, away by Turner. This might sit up beautifully. It's belted by Edwards into a sea of bodies and blocked nicely. What was that?
Low ball in towards Linger. Linger back in the Calray direction again. Hit over Clealted's chance, but unfortunately, on the far side, if he wants him, he elects to go there, continuing his run. Is Linger. Roller fouled, surely there from Stone Cold Riley Dillon. Lowers his centre of gravity and seems to weave quite well as the corner is swung in. Header in the end from Lindsay Millington.
Running with Mees very nicely here at the moment. Away goes Tommy Little and up and under. Sanders just pushed under it, I feel, and a foul blown against Turner. Charging forwards, there are bodies everywhere in the box here for Dillon. He picks out the header, pace off the bar, and it's been flagged. Rolls it for Roller. And here's the Roller derby sprinting into the box. It's Greg Roller from the angle, and it's a good save from Watman.
Dillon was the first one to really point in anger, and that's the direction he goes. Controls it well. Sunday puts it on the right peg, and he's just put it over the top. Well, Warrior Park, Riverside as Mees robs the defender of that one. He's got Roller steaming forward on the far side if he can get it there, and he just can't quite keep it in. Does manage to win a corner for his team. Eventually won by Sunday. Accidental foul afterwards. Dyer clipping at the heels of Edwards. Edwards had pace in space, and to be fair, that's
Stone Cold. Plenty of bodies back here, and it is Dillon. It deflects awkwardly, and it's well saved in the end. As that one deviated.
No, that's an impressive save there from Clark as Dillon goes the first time and nearly puts it in the back, and then ended again, Lockie Clark. Reaching.
Waits for the support that comes in the form of Riley Dillon, whose cross picks out Sanders. Oh, well done, Lockie Clark. Just got to it, and that might.
Yeah, cool. Just can't figure out. Like usually cameras got a little jog wheel or something so you can go through the menu settings. I can't find anything.
Then I turned around and saw you smoking. I'm like, oh yeah. I thought you were referencing that. Sorry, I have no idea. I then kept going and was, but yeah. It's a brilliant break. Days as a career, as his quarterbacking career, as if he had one. I really want that thing's a real great. Yeah, I really want him to write back, just giving us his NCAA stats and whatever. Just to school, he probably
Ring down and just see what it says, right? Yeah, that's alright. I've just never known a camera to. It's fine, I'm sorry.
just forgot a bit about Dead Tui. Just forgot that one.
Just seems weird that you can open the menu and look at it and you can't do anything with it.
Oh, you mean the scroll down thing?
Yeah.
Isn't it? No.
Well, hang on, we're in a different menu now, so something's happened. Hang on a minute.
I and H, would that be the... I have no idea. anymore, sorry.
That's okay. Oh, I'll send you the button for that. All I can think is it must be maybe this is a touch screen, but the screen seems to.
This is a touch screen here.
I suspect maybe, but it doesn't look like it works.
Are people actually complaining about it? Or? No.
Well, they are.
That's right. At pick 130. Zeroing in from there, and I just, I've already got like 5 reviews already. Yeah.
Good job so far. Is it alright, is it? Yeah. That's the interlacing, I think it's probably just different camera, different support and whatever. Sorry, sometimes I slipped on the Zoom.
About the NPL player they interviewed, that's the greatest interview I've ever seen.
I saw a racist And welcome back for the second half here at KG5. Hobart Zebras and Launceston City currently locked at 1-1. Could have been 4-4 really. It's been that sort of half. Really open affair, plenty of chances, plenty of good entertainment, and 3 points very much up for grabs for both teams. Both have looked more than capable. I think it's just going to be whoever can take the chances, because they didn't really show too many signs of ceasing.
Not at all. It's the fact they've only scored one each is probably the biggest shock of the first half. Sanders has had about 5 chances alone, and then Roller, Mees and Linger have been a constant threat buzzing around the Zebras back 4, so it's a 1-1 at half time, but it's very much on a knife's edge here at KG5. Breeze has died down a tad at half time, but as we saw last night, the weather seems to disappear when the teams aren't playing, and then when the action's on in the 45, you can get anything. It'll be Linger to kick off. Doesn't look like any changes from either side. And here we go, Linger back to Cartwright, who thought about having a long ball down the middle, but instead just knocks it out of play. Walsh to take the throw in the bright green boots. Sanders. The Colonel back to Yonezawa. Cartwright storming in and knocks it out for a throw. Interesting to see if Zebras look to play with a bit quicker or out of the back here in this second half. It's when they've been in situations like this, they've looked good, and that's a clear foul from Cartwright. And another slice of cheese inside the first minute of this second half. Shane Cartwright there picking up the cheddar. Clear foul with Matty Pace storming into the box. Similar to the one Turner picked up, and probably not the worst foul or cheese to give away.
No, potentially not. We'll be able to get the bodies back here. And everyone just about back in the penalty area for now. Plenty of targets to pick out for Riley Dillon. McEwen made a little bursting run near post. Dillon's waiting for the whistle. Finally it comes. Now we can get the delivery. And it's over the head of Cartwright. Spills out the back to Roots. It deflects off of O. Pinballs round. How will that sit? Almost fell for Sanders. Well away by Noah Mees. And it'll be brought back because I think we've got Cartwright spills out the back to Roots. It deflects off of O. Turner. Yes, Turner. Pinballs round. How will that sit? Almost fell for Sanders. Well away by Noah Mees. And it'll be brought back at the moment. He's the Monkeys front man.
Launceston City, about 3 goes at clearing it.
Yes, Turner.
And kept going backwards closer to the goal. We'll wait to see. The front man will see if it's serious or not. Players, as we see in this situation sometimes, often go for quick chat with the coach or a drink of water, but they have only been out there for about 90 seconds.
Wouldn't have thought the coaches need too many tactical shifts based off what they've seen. The concern for the time being is with Turner, who's sitting down holding his head, getting back up now. Certainly some concern here. Launceston City, their centre back.
3 on the bench. Lonnie City here this afternoon. You've got Dan Smith, who I doubt will be coming on if needed. Aaron Matarozzi and Hancock's.
Matarozzi probably the only one who you'd see, but I think they'd probably be more likely to drop Shane Cartwright back into the centre of defence and move someone in his place. And it looks like exactly what you're going to see here. Cartwright conversing now. Matty O's also moved inside. And just deciding, but it looks like Cartwright for now.
And Millington in conversation in the centre of the park. Figuring out how to do it whilst they perform all the required tests on Turner. In the end, it'll be Lockie Clark to drop kick this one towards halfway, but he's put that one out of bounds straight away. Totally just getting used to the different wind direction. Turner turns back to his feet, looking likely to come back on. It'll be the Dwayne pipe to take the throw. Millington clears. Again, it's Walsh for the throw-in. Likes to go back to his centre-back. Now Tommy Little. He's got space to stride into if he wants to. That's the young centre-half. Now it's Stone Cold. Back to Harutza. Ryan Walsh is in a good pocket of space. So is Sunday. That's the direction he goes in, but can't quite direct the header where he wants to. And it'll be Lucky Clark, who isn't really bothering with any short options here this afternoon. Leaves that one down the middle. Little gets ahead to it. Cartwright electing to go out wide towards Aitken, but Walsh read that situation well. Edwards intercepted by Aitken. Turned back over to Yonezawa. Onside is Walsh. 3 forward here for the Zebras. Goes the first time. Ball towards Sanders. Sanders gets in front, but it's offside. The referee hesitated. He's not happy with that, but you can't put the flag up till you actually touch it these days. So, as we'll probably got a good angle on it here. Just rewind that a little more. And he did seem to be in front of the centre-half in front of him.
Well, let's we'll need to rewind to see the initial offside on that one. Sanders disbelieving.
I think it's just sort of that thing where you're used to the flag going up immediately, but they are instructed now not. Charlie White getting the salt and pepper shaker treatment out there on how to work out an offside.
Yeah, we can another look at that one from when the ball was played, I think. I must admit I was very surprised when I saw the flag raised. But we'll wait and see. There's a long conversation between Charlie White and his linesman here.
He has stayed with the offside call.
He's backed in the 4th official, and the Zebras are furious with this one. So let's have a look. Played over the top, and
just about here is just where we needed to see it.
We'll get back to it as live flow's going. We'll have another look at it at the next stoppage. This one's brought under control by Aitken, and then he lofts it forward. Dillon back to his keeper there. Sanders was certainly surprised by the flag. He was absolutely disbelieving. He's found his 2 best finishes today, unfortunately. Both times the flags have gone up.
Straying very much into Pipo Inzaghi territory today here is Sanders. And we will eventually have a look at that, because Sanders was pretty irate at that decision. Good opportunity here if they played it to Sunday, but elected to go short. It's Hay. Overlapping run. Riley Dillon is in a good pocket of space. Jinx back on the right, now on the left. Stone Cold with the shot, but well gathered there from Lockie Clark. Held his position well. May have been worth just spraying that one across the box from Stone Cold. Cartwright. Alex Turner is back on the field now after that injury. Good play to Dyer. Out to Aitken. Fergus Aitken with Mees ahead of him. Wasn't really expecting that past Mees. He was making more of a dummy run rather than anything. And Harutza will see that out for a throw.
So Walsh down the line. Jared Linger was there though. Nods it to Mees. Holding off Horowitz and then trying to skip around him. Couldn't do so. The big check. Won the ball and then coughed it straight up to Cartwright. Dyer finds Aitken. Yonezawa tight with him, and that's behind for a corner, I think. It will be, so a chance to swing a set base in, perhaps a chance for another look at that offside in a second, although Cartwright's hustling across to take this nice and quickly, and they go full speed ahead. Pace, tried a little too much, and maybe just gets a little lucky there, Pace.
Just checking the live blogger there, 16th corner of the game that was, which you don't usually see that many in 50-odd minutes.
It's a very high number.
Altman is being instructed to take it, that free kick right in the back corner. Probably means this one's going to head down the line. Indeed it does from the Kiwi keeper. Sanders with the flick on, looking for the run of Edwards. The 2-16's going at it. It's Edwards. Back to pace. Just couldn't quite get that one under, and Walsh will hit it in first time. Sanders wrestling, gets in the front position, tries to knock it back. Shank clearance in the end from Dyer. Gets a second bite at it. Cartwright now with the third time trick, and rolling out. There's space to run into. Go the first time ball, but Harutsa knew exactly what the American was trying to do there. Balls to Dillon. Now to the Colonel Sanders, who's clearly tripped there from Turner. Looking to take it. Quickton is the captain and spotted the early run. So did Millington. Walsh in against Cartwright. Sunday goes to through ball. Edwards now to Pace. Pace probably wanted to play that more off the defender for a corner rather than get it in the box. Here on his hour. And now Zebras will look to build. Tommy Little sprays a good pass to Dillon. McEwen. They've got a whole lot of options here, and 3 Lonnie City players surrounding him. Eventually Matty O wins it. Jaden Hay wins it back. Dillon on the sideline. Tries to cross it in, but Dyer shepherds him out of the way well. Hay. McEwen just steals it off the toe of Linger and tries to beat 4 Lonnie City players. Cartwright has space to run into if he wants to. Roller's free on the far side. Chorutza doesn't win it. Got Mees in front of him. He just has a look. Greg Roller has half of KG5 in front of him. Aitken. Back to Mees still, and finally out to Roller on the chest. Greg Roller puts it over from 8 yards out. Oh, finally got to the American, and probably should have done better.
Well, no one wanted to go near him, and he probably did need to do better there in the end. He scored the spectacular opener from about 30 yards further out. That's one he just needs to be getting on target there. Just opted for a little bit too much power. A big moment goes begging there for Launceston City. Minutes after the Zebras thought they'd taken the lead, they were almost trailing in this game. As Roller unable to add to his tally. He's been very lively today, the number 9. One of his side's best. Here's Sanders. Turning on at Cartwright for company. Dillon. Well, for Nicky Edwards, he's got a couple making bursting runs. Walsh is charged on. Did he take down Aiken illegally? Play allowed to continue. Durazio, Walsh and Clark slides in to get on top of it. Dangerous moment there as Walsh bombed on.
Good call there from the referee to let play continue. Walsh really bombing on from his right back position.
He may well have swapped with pace. He's now playing as a winger, actually.
It's the position we've seen him in more down the years. He's
swapping back now, but Pacey was in no real rush there to get back forwards, was he?
No, he seemed pretty content there to sit at right back. It was Walsh with the throw, finds Sanders. Millington now for City. Dyer looks up. Sprays a pass to Durazio. Can't quite find Mees. It's now the Dwayne Pipe again. Edwards. Lovely ball there from Edwards. In on goal. It's Matty Pace. Oh, he's put it wide. It could have been his second from the young winger for Zebras. Delightful through ball past Millington. My word. Matty Pace gets it past the keeper, and he's not missed the far post by much. And he's done really well, the Zebras, and just that killer ball being played a bit more here in the second half by the Zebras. Clark in a huge rush to take this goal kick, but Zebras just seem like they're building towards getting a second here. A bit more likely than City so far. So it falls to Harutsa. Back to Watman. Wanted to play the ball out towards Pace, who just had that shot on goal, but he was offside. Again.
So here is the big moment of controversy in the half. Walsh.
He's got it there, and then about there. I do think he's in front of Millington. It's just whether or not Matty O's played him on.
It's a tight one. I know. It's a tight one. Sanders certainly didn't believe it. He thought he timed his run well. But that is the talking point out of the second half so far.
Certainly is, as Dyer goes in battling with Hay. Watman comes out to collect as the breeze gets a bit stronger here. Glenorchy. Watman out to Tommy Little. He's got a huge amount of options here. Does the centre back, finds Dylan really well and continues his run. Ozawa dropping back into centre back for a minute. Dwayne Walsh wanted the cross field ball. Tarancio picked out that one well and then just seemed to pass it 15 yards backwards to no one in particular.
They're not the tightest.
Curious decision there from Tarancio, who's had a pretty solid game here so far this afternoon. So the Dwayne pipe goes for the chest of Sanders. Cartwright careful not to commit a foul. Mees up against Harutza. Holding the ball up well. Rightful ball down the sideline. Will it stay in for Aitken? Doesn't matter because Yonezawa has him there, but Linger's going to get in front. Linger's rounded the keeper. He's got Roller. He's got Mees. Jared Linger whacks it into Tommy Little. Goal line save from the centre back. And Watman manages to collect. Don't know what Tommy Little's done to himself there, but what a save.
I know exactly what Tommy Little's done there. He's feeling that one, Tommy Little, but he has saved a goal for his team. So
body on the line is an understatement.
Probably worth it.
I don't know.
He might be regretting it, but he's certainly feeling it. But look, he saved a goal, so well done, young man.
Taking one for the team. I don't know what else he'd be able to do for the rest of the day, Tommy Little, but he's kept the score at 1-1. Careful to put his hands behind his back, much to his detriment there. And that is quite the interesting way to save a goal.
Yeah, look, he's just driven that one into the post there, Jared Linger. And Tommy Little, well, he's done very well getting back there. Big chance, and that's two massive chances City have let slip here in the second half.
Do we have to count this as a corner stat? Because he did throw it out for a corner, and he's just going to roll it back. I think we do, technically.
Well, I think the gamblers might be interested in that. I couldn't really care. It's a pretty irrelevant one, but look, I think the overs would be in anyway. There's been corner after corner in this one.
I'm going for the NPL corner record here this afternoon.
Oh, where's Benny Smith? He'd be all over that. But we must be pushing it.
I was going to say, it's nearly made it 20 in 60 minutes.
I'd have thought Warrior Park would be the pitch. You'd have a fair shout for having had a game with quite a few in there.
Yeah. And if you just keep trying to play through balls down the channel and the defenders have to keep clearing it, you would have a lot of corners there. Lockie Clark doing his best to give Zebras an attacking opportunity there. Sanders obliges, ball into the box Sunday, but Clark comes out to claim well. Huge amount of space here if he wants to roll one in front of Linger. Elects to go to Cartwright. Cartwright with three Zebras players in front of him and does well to split two of them. Aitken manages to get on the ball. Goes the low cross, well deflected on Walsh initially. As we tick past the hour mark, still 1-1 in the Italian derby. Taranzio's going to let that one bounce. Pace manages to control the ball, gets around Taranzio initially. We'll see how he goes here, and we have another corner. Despite the fact the corner flag is temporarily out of place.
David Smith imploring.
I think he wanted the left wing to be used there rather than the right, funnily enough.
Yeah, not making that point well known as we have another look at Little getting back on the line here. They're trying to squeeze it in. And Roller is just all on his lonesome. Maybe the option was to feed the American instead there. As Riley Dillon prepares to curl one in. Again, it's bending right onto the line. Did it cross the line? The Zebras with half-hearted appeals. I don't think it did. Lockie Clark clasping it, but just bending back on the breeze there. And the wind factor has certainly picked up in the second half. It's, we'd say, favouring the Zebras, but recent play perhaps not necessarily indicative of that. It is blowing behind the Zebras back reasonably steadily as Matthew Pace, who does seem to have slided into right back with Ian Walsh interchanging down that flank. Here's Little. He's got a Paddock. Played it to Hay. Hay just coughed it up to Linger. Good game, Jared Linger. Mees leaning in on his centre half there. They need to hit his feet. Sanders now. What a frustrating afternoon it's been for him. Could he break the frustration here and restore his side's lead? Yes, he's got the foul drawn here. And it's going to be a slice of cheese for the Launceston City man, and just outside the box, crucially.
The initial little foul started a little bit before that as well. Charlie White tried to play advantage for as long as possible. And in the end, giving Sanders a free kick at the 18.1 yard line. And Sanders got in behind here. Bit of shirt pulling and
I don't know that
goal.
Is he playing the ball there? I think he's playing the ball. That's a shout for a red there.
Yeah, I was going to say something about
Last man shirt grab. Sanders.
goal scoring opportunity was the phrase I was trying to think of.
Sanders, the left footer, would, I guess, prefer to be taking it back the other side rather than turning into the two defenders who were trying to make up the ground. He's got a case there, Sanders.
He was pretty immediately put the hands up as he thought his team was getting a red there, but we'll see how he goes from the free kick.
It's been a mighty frustrating afternoon at this one for the Colonel. Can he turn it around here? He just pings it over the bar. He might have taken a little touch off the wall, in fact, so it will be a corner again as we have another look at this. The wrestling match going on. I guess the touch just took him away and into the path of the two defenders, and I guess the referees interpreted they're going to get back and be able to make a play on him.
If he wasn't being shirt pulled, would he have made a touch in that area?
That's the question, isn't it? Tough one, and certainly tough at full speed as that one's dummied and went dangerous area. Roller up against Edwards. Ball falls out the back to Walsh, and I don't know about that.
Really?
Not really sure what Greg Rowler's done wrong there, to be honest.
If anything, he was tunnelled underneath it.
Oh, well, the Zebras get one back here. Edwards wants to take it quickly because he's got Riley Dillon in space, but Charlie White not going to let him.
Thought if he wants to take it quickly, he can take it quickly there. Anyway, we'll see what comes of it. Said he probably know they have a slight height advantage, despite Harutza and Little being some pretty tall timber, but we'll see what Edwards can conjure up here. It's Edwards going towards the far post. Harutza getting up for Clark. Punching clear. Pace will let it run out for a throw. Zebra is looking to make a substitute pretty soon as well. They'll wait for Pace to take the throw in, or is it Jaden Hay that's gone over for the long one? And he's in the Harutza direction. Edwards with the spectacular volley. And he's well over the crossbar. And so that substitute will now be made. It seems like Sunday McEwen is the one to come off. Only relatively recently back from injury. Made that substitute appearance at North Hobart Oval the other week. And it's James Ackley to come on. Like for like swap there, you would think. It does seem like Pace has moved to the left wing and Ackley out on the right. Free kick has held up something shocking in the wind. And he's going to play havoc with Clark. And it's a good first touch there from Ackley. And as far as first touches by substitutes at KG5, a little better than Iski Van Dorn's from last night. Tarazio has been fouled by Ackley. .68 minutes gone here. And Tarazio to take the free kick. Mees goes over his head and over Harutza's too. The long legs of Noah Mees gets it away from Yonezawa. Tried to play the through ball towards Aitken. Dwayne Walsh surely stealing about 12 yards there for the throw. Cartwright to Aitken. Yonezawa clears. Ackley trying to get underneath it. Yonezawa wanted to pull the trigger there and find Sanders. Walsh. Bonnie City doing a really good job in just crowding out these smaller spaces. Jared Linger looked like he had real issues with the sun there. Looked like he was being attacked by an alien. Ackley back to Harutza. Ackley ignoring the run of Edwards. Still going is Ackley. Zebra's keeping possession well. This is a lot better from the Zebs as Walsh goes to left foot cross. Sanders again. Well, he's had another chance in the 6-yard box, Colonel Sanders. And he's headed that the complete wrong direction.
It has been the variety bucket from the Colonel this evening. And again, unfortunately, his best shots have come when the flag's been raised. And whenever it's stayed down, he's produced his worst efforts. He's just had one of the most frustrating 69 minutes of football I reckon he's had in his career today. It's just been one of those days for him. It's just not gone to plan. He's been a constant threat. He's looked likely for a goal, and it still wouldn't write him off bombing out for a match winner here. It's just been a strange old day up top for the Colonel, and a strange old game, to be honest. Jared Linger takes this one wide. Back inside, Hay to Yonezawa. Tommy Little. Riley Dillon wants the run forward from pace. He's now bombing up on the left wing, having been right back 5 minutes ago. Yonezawa. Behind a Cartwright. This is a promising moment here. Rolled through for Sanders. He's onside this time. Sanders! Again, it's agonisingly wide. It just won't go in for him today. As he timed his run well on that occasion.
We're going to have a separate stat chart for Sanders' shots on and off target here, the way he's going. He'd be pushing double figures here, the Colonel. And he just cannot hit the back of the net here this afternoon. It was Wonky Clark take the goal kick. A bit more lower trajectory, which is probably a better idea in this wind, as Mees looks to do likewise. Walsh intercepts. The Dwayne Pipe rocking the headband. Enjoying the South American style from the Dwayne Pipe. Take the throw. Shaden Hay. Now Ackley. Zebra's doing well in tight spaces. Opens up Edwards, but Alex Turner thumps that one clear. Calls for a substitution, and we will see Mondi City making their first change of the game. Fergus Aitken coming off.
Smith coming on for him, I think.
Yeah, it is Daniel Smith coming on. So again, a like-for-like replacement made here by one of the teams formerly known as Juventus. It's the Dwayne Pipe. Launches that one down the line. Sanders giving chase, but running out of real estate. They really want the switch of play here, does David Smith. Still 4-0 out at Warrior Park. Not as much happening out there since that fourth went in early in the second half. It's now stone cold Riley Dillon. Couldn't see a way forward, so it goes back to Little. Tommy Little can play it to Yonezawa, who can open up and run into space. Elects to have the shot. And unless an absolute howler was to occur from Clark, he had that one covered the whole way.
Yeah, no threat from that distance. Was it Yonezawa? As we're approaching the final 15 minutes of this one. All still to play for these sides. The goal could well be worth 3 points at this stage. Both teams have shown themselves capable. Who's got the big finish in them? Will they be forced into another sharing of the spoils? A couple of draws already this year for Zebras. Yonezawa for Hay. He gave it to Cartwright. Cartwright then dispossessed in turn by Hay. Dorazio turns back. Smith's first involvement is to just chip one forward for Linger. Well read though by Thomas Little. Gets across to deal with that easily enough. Durazio to take the throw in. Short for Cartwright. Cartwright back for Durazio. Now the Englishman combining with his compatriot. A throw in on the far side. Taking the direction of Mees. The big fella looks to turn and go. It's Mees. Forced wide ball. Didn't stay in for him. And out it goes for a throw. Just not really the area you want the big fella to be doing his work though.
Particularly as Watman now forced to volley that one a bit quicker than he wanted to. Durazio can't quite keep it in. Zebras have looked the more and more likely side as this game has gone on. Colonel Sanders can't quite keep that one under control. It's Roller. Good run here by Linger. That's where he goes. Jared Linger, storming into the box for City. Likes to go to Smith. Smith back to Mees. Again stopped on the line there from Tommy Little, who then rebounded it off the striker for a goal kick. Another promising opportunity for City.
Tell you what, more saves than most goalkeepers are making at this rate here. Tommy Little, that's 2 goals he saved. That was big too. City carried a real threat about them in this second half. They definitely should have added to their tally. Haven't been able to do so. Zebras also have had their chances. Surprising the game stayed at 1-1. It might not for much longer. Sanders is on this time, and again he's wide of the mark. Oh, it just won't stay in for the Colonel. Another one goes begging, and it remains 1-1. And another one he'll feel he should have done better on. The defender's got a touch on that in the end.
Good clearance there from Lindsay Millington with the big toe and not much more on that one to get it away from the Colonel.
Back post knotted down, Millington. Great piece of work there from Millington. Saves the day, full stretch. Clearances off the line continue. Cartwright will try and spring them the other way. Drops it off for Mees. Noah Mees. Long down the line. Linger up against Yonezawa, who nodded it straight back down to Smith. Substitute Smith. Cartwright. Linger. Rolls it through. Smith again. Tried to cut it back. Off for Jaden Hay and behind for another corner. What number is that, Jacob? 21st corner of the game.
I don't think I've ever seen one in the 20s before.
I think we had, 17 or 18 City Riverside game. Launceston City games just loving a corner this year. So we're setting records in that field. Corner to be swung in. Low to the near post. Yonezawa stretches. Cleared it straight back to Smith. Oh, good attack on the ball. Riley Dillon got there first. Worked it inside for Edwards. Back to Sanders, who just set it out in front of Hay. A lunging dive there from Turner. Just blocks off his path.
Done very well there. There's Turner. Oh, he's managed to just about clear the ground with that clearance. No chance of that one coming back anytime soon. The Zebras take the throw. Hay bodying up to Dyer. Matty O comes in to lend a hand, but Dyer's elected the judge to have conceded the foul. Stone cold. What feels like his umpteenth set piece here this game. Sanders knows where he wants this one delivered. Can Dillon put it on his head? In the end, Ackley thought that was going to roll through the Sanders, but it's just the angle. Pushes the defender out of the way, the Colonel. Matty O can't quite get back to that one. It's now Dillon up against Turner, who clears that one away. Good turn from Edwards. Launches that one into the centre. Cleared by Dyer. Harutza back to the keeper. Mees charging that one down. Coolly played out to the Czech centre back. Yonezawa likes to go the crossfield ball. Oh, intercepts. Chasing back is Roller. Tommy Little. Cartwright. Neither team really content to get the ball down, but now Jaden Hay can play a through ball, and he does. It's Pace. The goal scorer Pace trying to get on his right peg. Matty Pace cuts it back. Oh, great sliding challenge in the end from Millington. Saves a certain goal.
Lindsay Millington coming up huge. And Matty Pace, I just thought his first touch just took him a little bit wide, took him a little bit removed from where he wanted to be, but recovered the situation well, set up the chance. But Millington, he's just come in, made the big block, and now it's City on the attack through Smith. Gets it on the right. Oh, not far away. Got some serious purchase on that, did Smith. And somehow we remain 1-1. I don't know how. It's been chance after chance. And there's the latest in the line of them. And that wasn't too far away.
If you're hitting the Briley Hose and handling sign from that angle, you have not missed that far post by a lot. And I'm still amazed at how this game is 1-1. Amy Watman, first bounce and out for a Lonnie City throw-in. There has been umpteen chances in this game for both sides. And Colonel Sanders has been amongst them. Pace. Millington tries to find Mees, eventually gets there. Mees has hit that with his left before he's hit that with his right. Hay, Edwards, just a little bit overhit and wanted it to Ackley, eventually gets there. Walsh bombing on. Sanders lurking just outside the penalty area. Edwards, who's moved centrally to this game. We've usually seen him out on a wing. Finally some space here for Jaden Hay. Left foot cross. Turner clears. Cartwright just wanted that a little bit more than Ackley. Now Jared Linger. 3v2, now 3v3 with Roller coming forward. If Linger wants to jink inside and find him, he tries to. But just getting a toe in is Yonizawa. Noah Mees can't quite get it to Roller. Harutza eventually clears up. Oh, whacks that one into the grandstand, but it is end-to-end stuff here this afternoon.
Yep, both teams will feel they deserve perhaps to win this one. Jane Hay imploring someone to move for him. Actually, Sanders presents. Hay chips it over the top. I think Pace is going to be offside here. No, the flag stays down on this occasion. So Pace will have a run at the defence. Works it inside to Sanders. Takes a touch around Millington. And he's put it just past the post. Oh, brilliant save in the end. And Sanders has had the most frustrating 90 minutes of football any man has ever had on this planet. Lockie Clark this time comes up with a huge save. Tips it past the post. It remains 1-1 somehow.
Sanders has clearly visited some form of Mozambique witch doctor in the last week. That's the only reason I can think he can't score. He's had the curse of Socceroos World Cup proportions put on him as that ball goes towards the back post. Little can't quite keep that in, so it'll be a goal kick.
I reckon he killed a cat
by
throwing into a mirror whilst walking under a ladder. It's been that sort of a day for the Colonel. He's been dead stiff. But at the end of the day, a couple of the ones he's had to do better with, and it just will not go in for him. For a man who's normally so reliable.
He could have had a double hat-trick here this afternoon easily.
I always throw out the old, well, nothing happens after the first goal goes in. None of those chances actually occur from that point on. A bit of butterfly theory, but yeah, he certainly should have scored goals today. Here's Riley Dillon running at Matty O. Wants to shape onto the left, it's Dillon. Drills it across the face, and a sliding pace couldn't get there. And Clark comes out to collect. They're holding on. It's the Zebras finishing strong here. Knocking on the door, but they might be a little exposed back the other way. And Mees flicked it through. Linger knew he was offside, though, and just held his run.
Sensible decision there from Linger. Linger Scully imploring his team to get a man. Has that Roller. Got a good amount of space to run into if he wants to. Lengths to go the crossfield ball. Splits his two teammates. It's now Cartwright to Mees. Gets the 1-2. Wants to play it towards Dyer. Edwards tracking back. Whacks it into his own teammate in the end. Dan Smith has probably overhit that through ball a tad. And now Watman wants to belt this one clear. And he's surely going to have to play this one down the middle, and he does. Dorazio up against Ackley. Both teams think they've won the throw-in. We'll go towards the Zebs.
Did well there, Ackley, but I'm not sure he's the one I'd be targeting from long goal kicks. Shortest player on the pitch. Here's Sanders, and he finally make it work for himself. He's going to try and get the corner, and he does so. I was just waiting for goal kick to be signalled. It's been that kind of a day.
I just think he's up on our corner record idea here, Sanders.
Another one, and another opportunity for the Zebras. 85th minute of the game. We're still locked at 1-1 despite a host of chances for both sides. Edwards to swing it in. Goes near post. Hurut's out the back. Riley Dillon smashes it over the top. It was always rising and safely over the crossbar as Mackenzie Hancock's looks like he's about to be introduced for City.
Great salad, Hancock's. That is majestic.
It's well crafted. So Hancock's on for roller. The youngster up top. So another striker being brought on here as both teams shown their intent. They want the 3 points. They want the extra goal. No one's settling for a point here this afternoon, that's for sure. But no one has been able to put away a second chance.
Yeah, Lonnie City, whilst they've had their backs against the wall, have still come on pretty strong in this second half. They're running it out really well. Seems that despite the coaching issues they had prior to pre-season, they look a pretty solid outfit here this afternoon. As Dillon wants to take the throw in long. Now it's Edwards. Edwards, he's got a wall of Lonnie City in front of him. And knocks it out for a throw in, one of the defenders. Edwards wants a short corner, wants a short throw. There's no one really near him. So Dillon will cross the ball in. Wants to go on the left, now the right. And he's still got the ball, Riley Dillon, but he's moving backwards. Yawazawa heaves that forward. Sanders with the header. Thought he still had teammates back there, but only has Dan Smith for City. Ackley in a good pocket of space here. What can he do, James Ackley? Goes back for Edwards. Oh, he put it in! Nicky Edwards with the volley. Perfect cutback from Ackley at 2-1 Zebras.
Absolutely sublime. Finally something gives. This game had everything but a goal in this second half, and finally it gets it. And if that does prove to be the match winner, what an exquisite match-winning goal it will be. Nicky Edwards absolutely hammering this volley top corner. Superb stuff. Really nice play out wide to forge the chance for him, and he just leans back and cracks it. Couldn't have hit it any better. Nothing Clark could do. And the Zebras have the lead with 3 minutes left in regulation.
Wow, it's been a long time coming for the Hobart Zebras this afternoon. They have been knocking on the door throughout the match, and we'll see if that is the match winner from Edwards. You'd expect City to come at them in the last 5 minutes. Dyer plays the ball down the line. The fresh legs of Hancock's trying to get back the blind side of Dillon. Oh, there's pace all around him. Edwards with a slightly less crisp volley than before. Good idea to put it in the path of Smith, but Watman shields it out for a goal kick. Actually, I think he's going to give that as a foul in the end, Charlie White.
Huge moment, that one, Edwards. Like being the difference, barring any late drama, will be worth 2 points. Such an emphatic strike. He's been watching his teammates fluff chance after chance all day.
Slice of cheese there just being dished out.
Smith, never short of a few words to say out there on the pitch. And looks like he's picked himself up a dose of dairy here.
I hope he's still not going, because this has been one of the most unnecessary sendings off I'd ever seen, but Charlie White will just keep it to a slice of cheese. Charlie White known for giving out reluctant yellow cards when he doesn't really want to and walking away in amazement.
Yeah, I think 1 million people have seen a similar video to that as what will get us restarted. Olympia full-time 5-0 win over Riverside, so they in Devonport doing it comfortably as expected. South Hobart pretty comfortable winners last night. And this has been the closest of the games, and it looks like Zebras are going to join those other sides in moving up to double points and in the top 4 of the league. They do appear to be the 4 in the mix early on. Zimbras will need to be more clinical moving forward. City, I think, they're definitely improving. I think the last couple of weeks have been their best 2 performances. They're building nicely. First half, best half I've seen them play this season. And, they had their chances. Certainly Zebras have had more chances, but City have had some good looks, that's for sure.
This game should be 6-5.
Yeah, look, I think ultimately Zebras are going to be deserved winners, but City have had some very good looks. They could have punished them. They left the door ajar, and they didn't take their chances when they had them in this second half, City. And Zebras finally converted one of their chances. This one's knocked long. Still time for City to salvage something. Away by Tommy Little. Had a good game. Middle of the defence. He's skewed 2 off the line. 2 of those chances would so easily have led to a City lead in this match. Linger. Back to Cartwright. Cartwright to Smith. Smith to Dorazio. Forcing him back here. Eventually he works it in to the back post. And Hancock's was there, but coming out to collect confidently was Sammy Watman.
We tick into stoppage time here. We'll probably have the standard 3 minutes, you'd imagine. There's a long shadow across KG5. Makes it a little difficult for players to get it out, but now Cartwright knocks it towards Mees. It's Smith. What Delonte City have in the tank? It's Smith running at the defence. Tries to get around Harutza. Don't think that's quite going to be enough to get it back, and then Harutza with the nice tumble turn there after winning the foul.
Shielding the ball, and it's quite the tumble. He did push him fair in the square of the back. And I don't know many defenders that wouldn't go down when given the opportunity like that. It's just that he's coming from such a height. It seems an exaggerated tumble, I think. But a fairly regulation decision there. Long from Watman. 91 minutes gone. There might be a few minutes of added time. A few various little spot fires throughout the half.
Turner's injury as well was what I forgot about from earlier. We might have a few more minutes.
Mees flicked it back. Here comes City through Smith. And this sneak one late and get this one back to 2-2. Same result they had against Glenorchy Knights last weekend. To throw the men forward here now. 2-1, 3-1. Not much difference between it. Worth risking being caught out the back. Just fling the bodies forward here in stoppage time. Mees dropping very deep. And in the box, and in the end Sanders is able to waltz up to it, collect it, just keep a hold of it, and then strike a wonderful through ball for Matty Pace to run onto and put it wide of the post. He couldn't quite ice the game. What a ball that was from the Colonel.
Delicious ball from the Colonel, and then Pace. Well, he's taken inspiration from Colonel's finishing there. In the end, Zebras goal scorer of their first is Walsh now battling with Dyer. Now Cartwright tries to find Smith, who can't quite keep it in. And if I was him, I'd go chasing after that ball because the Zebras aren't going to bother. And this is taking precious seconds off the clock. Still a state of stalemate here. It's almost like the Ollie Roos game against South Korea here towards the end. Eventually they'll go and get the ball. That is 30 seconds that Lonnie City could have done something with, you would think. And that's the Dwayne pipe. Throws it in the Sanders direction. Now into Linger. Now Mees. Coming across to Linger. Oh, good ball in towards Hancock's. Watman comes out though and claims comfortably in the end from the big Kiwi keeper. Heaved in the Sanders direction. Over his head. Now Ackley manages to get in. Oh, Sanders is finally in a goal. Colonel Sanders has missed again. Oh, the Colonel. I've never seen someone miss so many chances in one game in my life. He's goal side of the defender. Just a reminder, He's one of the most lethal strikers in the competition. They haven't plucked him out of the stand just before.
Leading the Golden Boot race, but it has been that sort of a day. And he has hit the back of the net with 2 bulleted finishes. Both times the offside flag strikes against him. It's frustration for the Colonel, but if they walk away with the 3 points, he'll be able to smile about it and laugh it off, I think. Forward by Turner. Sanders, again, his link-up play has been excellent too. It literally has just been the final nail. He's not been able to drive into the coffin. And danger now as Mee storms forward, but Yonezawa cool. And the Iceman in midfield there. Walsh charging forwards here. He'll head to the corner flag. In there for Ackley, but 94.5 minutes tick by here. Can't be too long left now. The final whistle probably imminent. 5 minutes probably about expected, given the stoppages and the injury to Turner, but I don't think there'll be too much beyond that. So City have got to get it forward in a hurry here if they've got the time. Mees nods on. Walsh Nakunanda spins back to pace, well read by Turner. Lofted forward, Tommy Little up against Linger. Linger competed well, but Little initially did well, then coughed it up. Well done, Jared Linger. Noah Mees, he's got a man riding shotgun here. Mees holding off the attention and knotting it up in the 96th minute is Noah Mees. He just held off the defender, picks out the corner, and has stolen a point for City at the death. Incredible scenes.
From absolutely nothing, Noah Mees. Jared Linger initially with the build-up just puts his left foot through it. Yonezawa and Jan Harutsu are right there. And this Zebras crowd is absolutely stunned. They have gone completely silent here. 96th minute. They might be calling for how much added time there was. Lonnie City in one of the most incredible NPL TAS games I think I've seen. They've pulled one back. It'll be interesting to see how long Charlie White lets this go for. It's now Dyer.
Sanders won't be laughing now, that's for sure.
Out to Hancock, and tell you what, Mees is in some space on this far side, but he won't get the opportunity. Dyer running through and White blows the whistle. Well, it's controversy all around here at KG5, but after an enthralling matchup, the Italian derby has ended 2-0, and I don't know how it's ended up 2-0.
Yeah, that's 2 points lost for the Hobart Zebras. They had plenty of chances to ice that game at the end. They didn't. Noah Mees needed one look. He needed one look and he went bang. Buried it in the bottom corner and City rescue a point late. Here is the story of the game. The first goal, the most spectacular. Greg Roller. Brilliant chip from 30-odd yards out there. That was 1-0. Zebras managed to get their way back on terms in the first half though. Good glancing header from pace. Coming down off the crossbar and just going over the line. And then finally, having squandered chance after chance, Nicky Edwards thumps this one home. It looked like it was going to be the match winner for the Zebras. They probably had 3 or 4 chances directly after that. They should have made it 3-1. They didn't make it 3-1. And Launceston City, with their star striker Noah Mees, were able to rally, rescue a point. He just held off the midfield here. Big man v small man. Centre back couldn't execute the block in time. And Mees steals a point. 2-2. What a game.
22 shots Zebras had in that game, and I think they'll be ruining some of those misses here. As we mentioned, we were starting to laugh about Sanders missing at the end, but it has really cost their team 2 points here. Not the only guilty party, but Lonnie City have come down the Midland and at the absolute death stolen a point here. I can't wait to watch this game again on replay. I think that is an enthralling contest. And we'll see how Zebras bounce back, but especially in the title race, you've got to consider that 2 points lost.
Yeah, big blow that one. City will be happy with their work to claim a point. A 2-2 draw here at KG5 in the final game of round 7 action. We'll be back next weekend, but from this weekend here at the Slice of Cheese team, and a pleasure bringing this game to you. But a share of the spoils is all that the Zebras take after an action-packed game. It finishes 2-2 at KG5 between Launceston City and the Hobart Zebras.